So, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always. Normally, it's the MMA UK BJJ show, but tonight we're talking about K1 Kickboxing. So it's going to be Evolution of Combat 11. It's going to be this Saturday, the 19th of February. Going to be at Maryhill Community Halls. Now, doors open, I believe, around about between 4 or 5 o'clock. First fight, I believe, kicks off about 5 o'clock. They are very punctual, so make sure that you're in the venue for that time. You've got your seats and so on. Now, it is sold out, so you won't be able to get a ticket from anywhere. Some fighters might still have some ticket availability left. So the only place you are going to be able to see it is on pay-per-view. So just jump on to Evolution of Combat's Facebook page. It'll take you through to live MMA, and you'll be able to order at $9.99 for that. Some absolutely fantastic matches. We've got some grappling. Ash Williams is going to be on the card. John Malfin, Kev McAloon, Shawnee Stewart. Obviously got K1 Kickboxing, and we're going to be rounding it off as well with obviously some MMA bouts as well. So make sure you get that pay-per-view, $9.99. Fantastic amount of money for the event that you're going to get to see. So my next guest is going to be on the show that night. So Ross McKenzie of Kaizen Academy. Lewis is going to be up against Ross McKenzie. No relation, obviously a different spelling as well. I know there was a bit of a laugh going around on Facebook saying that the winner or the loser is to change their name to the other Mackenzie. So we'll see if that happens. So Lewis is going to be up against Ross in a K1 kickboxing bout. I believe it's under 68 catch weight. So a good weight, good matchup between these two is definitely going to happen. As I say, I was lucky enough to see Lewis at Evolution of Combat 8 put on a good performance. I know you were upset. You weren't too happy about the performance when we spoke, Lewis, but it was a good, solid performance you put in.
Yeah, I've had 4 MMA fights now, so I'm 1, 2, and 1, but obviously I have won, but it feels a bit like I haven't won yet because I've not. I did have to work for it, but I'm still waiting for that sort of moment where I feel like definitively I've sort of made it and I can really put on a performance. But so far every fight I've had has been pretty tough. So
it's been very close. I mean, all of them have been very, very close as well. As I said, it wasn't because you know that some people's records you look at where, let's say, they're a 1, 2, and 1, and they've been beat in every single one of them, absolutely hammered in every single one of them. Where that's not been for you. I mean, it's been some really, really close fights that you've had.
Yeah, the hardest I've ever been hit was in my last one against Mitch Wood from Manchester top team. And it was actually, I feel a bit sorry for him because he lands an amazing uppercut, which really stunned me and quite wobbled me. But as he did that, I was shooting him for a takedown and then got the rolling triangle, which quite a few people have seen because it's such a weird thing to get. So it makes me look amazing, but really actually that was because of he hit me. I was like, oh, I've got to recover this by just pulling guard again, and then managed to get the triangle, but I wasn't thinking properly, so I let it slip. He didn't actually defend the right way. He rolled back so I could take it come up to mount, but I didn't take it because I think probably because he stunned me and also because you're in a cage and you've no idea what's going on. But other than that shot, a little bit to my leg. But I've never been hurt. Every single fight's been a decision, and it's mainly the reason why I've lost them is because I've not done enough, rather than the other guy did a lot. Obviously they've hit me, they've looked fantastic in all of them, but I've not put the offense on them because I can't wait to go pro because of the 5-minute rounds. I'm a much better paced at 5 minutes. Because I don't ever get tired. I look tired, which a lot of people say, I look tired in my fights, but I'm never tired. I just look tired, especially because I just don't throw much. Don't do enough. to get tired. I'm quite efficient.
Yeah,
Like I'm never just exploding. But
yeah.
yeah. So
I hear that a
we'll
lot.
see.
Yeah, I hear that a lot about you talk about the minutes going from the 3 minutes to the 5 minutes, and I do
Yeah.
hear a lot of amateurs saying the 3 minutes isn't long enough
Very
because
short.
yeah, I mean obviously in the gym you're probably training 5 minute rounds anyway, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
used to going 5 minutes, 6, 7, 8 minutes rounds and stuff like that. So is that something for you as an amateur or even amateurs in the future? You would like to see 5 minute rounds come in?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think they should definitely add that. I actually think they should. I don't know. I've always thought they should maybe have a lower level to what amateur is right now, and
Yeah,
have what we have amateur as semi-pro,
yeah,
but
yeah.
as 5 minute rounds, just no knees to the head, like the same rule set, but
Hmm.
5 minute rounds, and that's sort of the go-to thing for if you once you've like making the time commitment fully, but
Yeah,
also have a bit of a like more of an interclub style, but actually where you get a record
yeah,
against like lower level people, because the jump nowadays for like people are asking me obviously in the gym like do you reckon I'm ready for fights and stuff, and
yeah,
like the level of, so when I started, the level I think was pretty low in the Northwest. It was
yeah,
like about 3.5 years ago, roughly. And I went and watched UKFC 9, I think. And majority of the people on the card were like fairly old, like 20s to late 20s. But now, if you look at UKFC, every single one of them is like my age or younger. And
yeah,
then the title guys are in the early 20s. So
yeah,
like the standards just gone through the roof, and like most people, even if they're a striker, like even if yeah they're not really known for the grappling, they're still a blue belt.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so yeah, they're yeah, it's the standards gone through the roof. So I think they should have a little lower one for people who just want a bit of fun, but all,
Hmm.
like you do in boxing. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you talk about
with
maybe like
shin
a
pads, with shin
yeah.
pads as well.
So talk about like maybe have like an amateur, then a
Mm.
semi-pro, then a
Yeah,
pro. So
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
kind of step you up.
mm.
Would you be up for, let's say, obviously amateur 3 minutes,
Yeah.
semi-pro 4 minutes, and then pro 5 minutes?
That's a
Because
good idea. Yeah,
that would sound, because again, there's a
yeah,
lot of people when they go from amateurs into pro
big
that
jump.
again they aren't ready for the 5 minute rounds, and
Yeah,
so but there is people who I'd say they're ready to go 5 minutes, no problem at all. So it
yeah.
would be interesting, I mean, to have something like that, so it
I
gets people ready.
if I could actually choose my ideal rule set, I wouldn't have any rounds because I can't stand the rounds because just when you like start to get going, and it
Yeah,
also I think I start to do worse as the round goes towards the end because
yeah,
I'm sort of, I know that I've just got to survive the rest of the round, which
yeah,
sometimes can mean they can like land a few shots. So
yeah,
I've been working on actually pushing the pace at the end of the round rather than actually just like tailoring off and letting them in that Kyle McCulloch fight. He swept me at the end of
yeah,
that third round, or something like that. And I was just like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have switched off. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're talking about like old school MMA. That's the way old school MMA was, where there
yeah, like
wasn't rounds and you had guys who were fighting like fucking 30 minutes and an hour, 2 hours and stuff like that. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? So
I'd happily do that. Like I think that would suit me so well, but not other
yeah,
guys. Like
yeah,
that, I think I could. Yeah, no rounds. I love it, especially in the gym. Just when
yeah,
you're sparring and you don't set a timer, and
yeah,
neither one of you wants to say let's call it a day because you want
yeah.
to kind of prove that you're like tougher.
I'm the big dog. I'm the big
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
It's funny because obviously, like in my gym, my coach, jiu-jitsu coach, is Marcus Nardini, and it's funny because whenever he calls you over for a round, he'll be like, right, Stuart, come on, let's have a round. And it'll maybe be like 2 minutes before the end of the round. And you think, yes, I'm only going to get 2 minutes. This is brilliant. Obviously, he's a black belt. He's going to kick my ass. And then the buzzer will go, and then you'll stop, and he'll be like, no, no, keep going. So then you'll then go through the 1 minute rest. And then as soon as the
into the
buzzer
next
starts
round.
again, into the next round. And he'll maybe do that for a couple of rounds. And you'll be like, fuck, man. Do you know what I mean? So Marcos Nardini is definitely the big dog in our gym. so,
Yeah,
um,
Yeah,
And then obviously,
that's there's quite a lot of people in our gym.
yeah,
Yeah, there's some. It's crazy at our gym. We've got a lot of new people starting recently, which is a good thing. Hopefully,
nice.
hopefully a few of them become fighters eventually one day. But then there's sort of, because I don't know, but there's sort of a white, blue, purple at our gym. But our blue belt level is high, and then our
Yeah,
purple belt level is kind of like brown black belt level, just because of our coach hasn't been able to get his black. Oh,
yeah. But that'll happen. That'll come.
yeah.
Obviously, definitely
Oh,
going
I disconnected then, so I paused. But but yeah, so yeah, he's only just got his black belt, so I think probably some brown belt promotions are due.
yeah,
They're away at the Euros this week, and they're honestly, when you roll with them, you just. And I've rolled with other purple belts at other gyms, and they're just nowhere near. Like
yeah,
they're easily brown belts, I
yeah.
think. But we'll see if they get it or not.
We see the north of England at the moment seems to be, and I say this to everybody, it's because like jiu-jitsu especially goes through stages where like London might have the best grapplers in the UK, or Manchester, or
Yeah,
wherever in the UK. But at the moment, it seems to be the north of England seems to
yeah,
have that. This is where some of the best grapplers in the UK at the moment are coming from.
yeah. I think so. I've competed. I've not competed at too many tournaments. I'm doing a few more this year,
Yeah,
but yeah. The division I'm in at Empire I think Empire is one of the toughest divisions. But I've got I just came second. It was like 2 weeks after I got my blue belt. I came
yeah,
second at Empire, and
yeah,
that felt like such a big achievement, because it's yeah, that was tough. I wasn't expecting to even win a match.
yeah, yeah. It's tough. Blue belt's tough. I mean,
Yeah,
especially the adult division. I mean, the kids that are coming through now that are blue belts are fucking unbelievable, and they're so
yeah,
much better now than what they were before the lockdown came, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
mad, because you're thinking, where have these kids been training? So, but they're a lot better now than what they were 2 years ago. So, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
brilliant to see. I mean, obviously you're saying just got your blue belt and then stepped into a competition, and yeah, do you know what I mean? Done
Mhm.
absolutely brilliant. So,
I had competed at blue belt as a white belt as well, and
yeah,
I think I won 2 matches,
yeah,
but yeah, didn't nothing much.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I really struggled, but I'm kind of glad, because I felt the intensity, and then
yeah.
I got promoted. So by the time I was a blue belt, I was almost winning blue belt.
Yeah, yeah, nah, that's all. And I know that because the last time when we spoke, you gave your job up. Obviously, you
Yeah,
were now doing this full time, not just training at Kaizen, but training at Aspire as well.
yeah,
How's everything going between the both then?
yeah. Good. So I'm a little bit bad at the moment. I'm training at 4 gyms, not regularly, but quite
Right.
often.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I do 3 gyms every week at the moment, and that's Kaizen Academy,
yeah,
Aspire with Dean, and then Reps MMA, which is actually
yeah,
where Jamie Smith was from.
yeah.
The last guy on EOC I fought. And
Hmm.
I'm also training over at Scramble in Leeds.
Yeah,
And it's just because I like to get the variety. And
yeah,
while I'm not competing in MMA, I may as well make the most of the training. Because I think the only problem with training at so many different gyms is your training partners
yeah.
could then become the people you're fighting against. So when I'm fighting MMA again, I'm probably gonna only train at Kaizen and Aspire.
Yeah, yeah. Nah,
But yeah, I'm having great rounds down at Aspire and Reps. Like they're my main. So Kaizen's sort of my learning gym,
yeah,
and then when I get ready for a fight and prepare for a fight, I'm mainly using the rounds down there, because they're quite tough rounds. Everyone in the room's a fighter or have fought before, and
yeah.
and also just do you know? Have you heard of Dean Garnett?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just like the stuff he's been teaching me recently. He's been training. He's been teaching me like every Wednesday.
Hmm.
With a few of the boys on the course, and he's just the stuff he produces just incredible. It's like it's really simple stuff, but you use it in every session. Like quite often
Yeah.
when you go to a kickboxing class, you might use maybe two or three techniques in your sparring at the end. Like Adam's very knowledgeable and he's got loads of techniques.
Yeah.
Same with Kieran. Like they could literally play any style. Like you ask them to play Adesanya, Bocao, like all these
Yeah.
guys, like they can play them all. But
Yeah.
Kieran can, and then Adam sort of understands a lot of the Dutch styles and the Thai styles.
Yeah.
But when you're wanting to fight, I think it's better to then narrow down and get a bit specific on what you're doing, which is what
Definitely.
Dean's been helping me out with. And yeah, like I'm literally using all these techniques. Like every technique he shows, I'm pretty much using in my sparring at the moment. So
Nice.
it's really catered to me as well. Like yeah,
Yeah.
so massive thanks to him. He's helping a lot.
Definitely. And then obviously the evolution of combat then. So this one's going to be obviously a K1 kickboxing fight. So obviously we've seen your MMA.
Yeah.
So obviously this one's going to be a kickboxing fight. So obviously tell us about the change then, because obviously MMA and then now doing the kickboxing. So what was the reason for the change?
So after my fight in the Carlton with James Smith, um, I actually think I didn't really land much
Hmm.
in terms of striking,
Yeah.
but I mean I didn't do anything in that fight. That was by far the worst performance I've ever done. I think I
Yeah.
felt absolutely terrible coming into it, and I was more interested in this game I bought. I literally only just bought GTA, and I was so addicted to the game. I was playing it all week through my weight cut, and I thought it was just the best game ever. And
Right.
all I could think of really backstage was, oh, I just can't wait for this fight to be over. I can go home back and play GTA. Yeah, because I'd never played it before. I just thought it was amazing. And then
Yeah.
my head wasn't in the game. I wasn't like he put on an incredible performance, really composed. But yeah, I didn't show up that day. I don't feel.
Yeah.
But after that fight, I feel like the biggest area he dominated me was the grappling, and
Yeah.
that's because the majority of my fight, I was actually in my fight camp. I was just doing striking, completely neglected the grappling,
Yeah.
which like you can't really turn around your fight. You're striking and your
Hmm.
whole style that quickly.
Yeah.
So from the last fight in August to that fight, all I really worked on was my striking to try
Yeah.
and up the level because it wasn't good enough in the Kyle fight. But then yeah, but it didn't really work because then he just took me down, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
now my grappling's not sharp enough to like do anything in a MMA fight. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought maybe I'd be better off doing a kickboxing fight just to really keep working on the striking because it clearly wasn't there in the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I I enjoy kickboxing, but if I've got the opportunity to grapple, I'll grapple because
Yeah.
I much prefer it. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I've been putting everything into it recently, like doing loads of kickboxing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And
Definitely.
yeah, then I took that fight on 4 hours notice
Yeah. Yeah.
against Mitch Wood. Um, and basically was just like the reason why I took that was just because I wanted to show that I can fight and like prove to myself almost that I can do this and I'm not terrible. Because I
Yeah.
felt really terrible after that fight. I just wanted to fight again, and
Hmm.
I took that fight and I like shocked the whole crowd basically because they all thought I was a journeyman, and they
Yeah.
start pulling guard and rolling triangles and I think I got a 10-8 round in the last round just
Yeah.
by grappling him. I almost finished him, but after him like outstriking me for the first 2 rounds, he wasn't tapped into a choke unless he was
Yeah.
going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, mainly the biggest reason is just it's my weakest area, and I really need to improve my kickboxing. So by forcing myself to just do kickboxing, where I have no grappling skills,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to improve it, and I think I've done it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't wait. I'm more like a fan going into this fight. I'm just really looking forward to seeing if like the work's improvement, because people have been saying stuff inspiring, just how like I look like a different person. I'm looking like a striker, not a grappler anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll see. I feel really confident going into this though. It's the first fight I actually feel like I'm going to like show off how the technique I've learned and all the
Yeah.
stuff I've been working for, rather than just like going to survive, which is kind of how I've viewed the others.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also that survival just like makes me feel really confident, because
Hmm.
I've had 4 fights now where people have really tried to put me away and like knock me out, and not one of them has done it.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they've come close. Like I've never been wobbled, never been dropped, and that's with like zero offense. So
Hmm.
what I mean, this fight I've got a lot more offense,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
even better defense, because I'm always improving that. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I think it's going to be my best fight yet.
Yeah. And that's
Hopefully.
one thing. I mean, your grappling uh, is absolutely fantastic, because obviously when you know yourself, obviously coming in as an amateur, yeah, you've maybe got a little bit of grappling experience or a little bit of striking experience or whatever, but obviously your grappling's been one thing that, as you said yourself, has carried you through a lot of fights. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so obviously now you're going to be able to then just concentrate with the kickboxing on purely striking,
yeah.
which again in turn's going to then take your MMA game to a different level as well.
Yeah, I've already noticed like I've had some rounds in MMA where I've actually tried to stand up, which
Hmm.
I've and sprawl. I've actually never sprawled. Like I've never even learned how to sprawl, because right from the start, I was before I started MMA, I was just like, well, if I'm amazing on the bottom, why
Yeah,
would I ever sprawl? Like if they
yeah,
take me down, that's a benefit to me.
yeah,
So, but recently, because I'm only trying to work the grappling, the striking, sorry, um, I've actually been sprawling, defending takedowns, and standing up, and it's quite interesting that I've been sweeping people to stand up,
yeah,
and I've actually learned that I can do it, and it is quite easy for me as well, just because of the grappling knowledge.
yeah.
And yeah, it's been quite interesting. But people have been like, "What? I thought you was a grappler, not a striker. Why? Well, I thought you wanted to grapple." I was like,
Yeah.
"No, not anymore."
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, I'm looking forward to obviously
Yeah,
seeing the changes that you're going to bring. As I said, I was there at Evolution of Combat 8. We laughed before we came on air. I said, I've been there for every win you've had, albeit
yeah.
it's only one, but I must be your lucky charm, Lewis.
Yeah, it's
So,
because I don't. If I get a chance for an interview, I love to talk. So I've got to win. If I'm in the fight and I'm like, oh, I think I'm losing, I've got to push through. Let's get the
yeah,
win. I need that interview. I need that
yeah.
airtime.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And
Yeah,
then what about you though? This year, 2022, is going to be our first full year of
yeah,
training, proper full year of training. We're hopefully going to have a full year of events, different events coming up all over the place. We're seeing it obviously on Facebook all the time. There seems to be another jiu-jitsu event or another MMA event coming up or whatever. So what do we see going forward? So obviously this Saturday is going to be your main focus. So what would you like to see yourself doing going forward?
yeah. So I've actually had a lot of. I actually at one point I did think about pulling out of this fight just to focus on this year, because my
Yeah,
plans. But then I also, so my plan for this year is grappling. I'm
yeah,
gonna up my level at the end of the year. I want to do the British Open.
yeah,
I'm gonna try, if I can, compete at purple belt maybe.
yeah,
It depends, because I mean I could have been lucky with that draw at blue belt. Could have been an
yeah,
easy bunch, but you never know with the divisions. So
yeah,
I've already got three comps booked. I'm gonna one every month. Uh,
mhm,
so I'm competing February this month, March, April, May. I think, yeah.
yeah,
Competing all of them in grappling. So then maybe after June, we'll see if I like challenging myself. I'd rather lose, and
yeah,
but be really challenged
yeah,
than win, because I find winning quite boring, to be honest. Because it's like if you can win, there's like no point doing it, and it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, so when I was a white belt, I swept everyone easily, and then my
Mhm.
best sweeps weren't working at blue belt, and I was like, oh, I need to work on my best sweeps,
Yeah.
like at blue belt. So let's do that, and I really enjoy it. But so the reason why I didn't pull out was just because I thought if the whole year is going to be grappling, then
Yeah.
got to work on the striking, and it's a bit of a cope. Like you can't. I don't like pulling out as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, now I'm really glad I haven't, because it has forced me to do the kickboxing, and I feel
Yeah.
so sharp, like sharpest I've ever been. And like at the end of it, my mentality has changed a lot as well. Like I've learned that like at the end of the day, like if a guy's better than me, he'll beat me. So like it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. Like the only thing you can really do is like prepare yourself to win, focus on the win. And if the guy beats you at the end of it, like if I fight some sort of prodigy who's been training for like 12 years, I'm probably not going to beat him. But I'll try and beat him and like give
Yeah.
it all. And then, but if I go in thinking I'm going to lose, which is kind of how I've done in the others, I'll play too defensive. I won't really come for it, and
Yeah.
it like you're not gonna get anywhere. But
Yeah.
if you really come for it, then and you bring like everything you've got, then you've at least got a chance if the guy's not as good as you.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the main thing is that my striking's improved. Like like it, especially because I don't really care about my record in kickboxing,
Yeah.
because it's just a bit of fun. This, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also, I'm viewing it just like as a hard spar, really. Like a hard spar, and I'm allowed to do what I want, but
Yeah.
like go as
Yeah.
hard as you want. And yeah, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like yeah, the rest of the year just grappling, training, improve as much as possible, and then
Yeah.
the year after that, 2023, I'll probably be coming back to MMA and hopefully get some submissions.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
Well, that's the thing. Amateur's one of these things where you get all your losses out the way as an amateur. So by the time you step into the pros, you've learned from maybe mistakes that you've made and you've tightened your game up. So by the time pro comes, you're 100% ready to go for it. So
yeah,
that's the best mentality I have. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Don't worry about the loss because a lot of people, even in the amateurs, a lot of people, as you know, get caught up in, oh, I don't want to be beat. I don't
yeah,
want to be beat. I want to have a 100% win rate as an amateur,
yeah,
and then become a pro. But then at
mm,
that point, when you become a pro, you've never lost a fight. You've
yeah,
never you've never tasted that defeat. And then when it does happen as a pro, if you lose as a pro, it's devastating because it's
mm,
never happened before. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
best time's always as an amateur to get them out of the way, learn from your mistakes, and then come back stronger.
yeah. I think like although I'm ranked something ridiculous like 270 or something, like
Mhm.
with 4 fights, there's people who have like had one fight and like ranked like 50 or something.
Yeah,
But like I think so. Like I think the way I see it is like it. If you're interested in like sponsors and stuff like that, it's great. It's great for you to be like undefeated at the start of your career,
yeah,
but then you're gonna fall. Like everyone's gonna lose, and if you're not losing, you're not fighting hard enough people. Like you're not fighting
yeah,
tough enough people.
yeah,
Like I could stay at white belt or easy blue belt, or like when a blue belt becomes easy, I could stay there.
yeah,
But I don't want to. I constantly want to be improving. Like
yeah.
that's the most important thing, because like at the end of the day, this fight on Saturday is not like the end goal. Like
Mhm.
it is at the moment, but because it's like the next thing I have to focus on, all your attention's on it. But
Yeah,
the end goal is to improve to be like as best as you possibly can,
yeah,
which
yeah.
means yeah, like so for example, I don't even feel like I've had a rise. Say you like a stock, like
Mhm.
my screen's the opposite way, but but, but I think most people like once they get a win, they start up to get up here, and then they don't really know if they like to fight it, and then they lose and they're back down here. But
Yeah,
I'm still here, and then next
yeah,
year I'm gonna jump up even after this fight, even if it's my best fight yet, and I go out and finish the guy. It's
yeah,
still for me that doesn't count because it's not MMA. It's
yeah,
not it's not a real like yeah, it's a good win, but I've done the important thing, which is I've dedicated my time to the kickboxing. I've
yeah,
improved my skills, and that's all what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I love about you. As I say,
Yeah,
you're willing to put yourself out there. Obviously, whether it be grappling or MMA,
yeah,
and obviously now kickboxing. As I said,
yeah,
you definitely want to challenge yourself in all areas. So, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
That's what we love about you. So yeah, but listen, I'm looking forward to seeing the Mackenzie versus Mackenzie on
yeah. Me too.
Saturday night.
Me too.
So, and then final thing for you then, Lewis. So again, anybody you want to shout out to. So any kind of friends, family. I know you've got a little special shout out for someone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but yeah.
We'll leave that one to the end.
So
But
yeah, anybody you want to call out, anybody you want to
yeah,
say thanks to.
yeah. So massive thanks to like all my coaches, basically. So like everyone at Kaizen, Kaizen supplied me with just a full bank of knowledge, like a
Yeah,
full that yeah, like they've given me a massive amount of information, and then I can like pick and choose my style. That's the one thing that's special about Kaizen, is
yeah,
that there's no one with the same style as me. There's no one with the same style as anyone else. We're
yeah,
all different. We're all unique, which means you get used to fighting everyone. Like people, there's boxers, kickboxers, karate guys. Like it's amazing. So like the knowledge they have is just unreal. Same with
yeah.
Michael Wood. I know I'm not grappling, but I always got to shout that guy out. He is gonna be the John Danaher of the UK. He is on another level with his grappling.
Has he got a bum
Um,
bag? Does he have a bum bag the same as John Danaher?
I've never seen the bum bag. He might do, but he does have the turtleneck. So
Nice.
and he's always in a rash guard. And but yeah, then Dean Garnett in Liverpool, just every week he's turned up.
Yeah,
2-3 times a week he's been like showing me stuff, just constantly picking at me, giving me that time, like in that gym as well. That means a lot because
yeah,
you've got like Liam McCracken, Marlon Jones, Mohammed Mokaev, who's just
yeah,
fighting on the UFC this weekend. You
yeah,
got like even like Danny Roberts, Aaron Robinson. I think that yeah, that's him. And like loads of pro guys. And then that's
yeah,
not even half of the like there's another 20 amateurs. So
yeah,
like to get time off him is like it's a big thing. But he dedicates time to anyone that like is like wants to fight and wants to learn and all that sort of stuff. Like he
yeah.
gives time to everyone else as well. So the
Nice.
stuff he does it is incredible. Like
Yeah,
he puts the gym before anyone else, and not
yeah,
even just with the fighters as well. He's got loads of stuff going on for like kids programs, yeah, loads of other stuff as well. And
yeah,
then yeah, obviously like training partners at Kaizen, got Josh Lamb, who's Josh Lamb's been absolutely amazing.
yeah,
He's been getting me on the pads quite a lot, and finally Nathan Wyatt, who I cannot wait for his match. We've had
yeah.
a bit of a joke about how I'm not going to shout him out, but but yeah, he's phenomenal. He has actually motivated me so much to like train as well,
Yeah,
just by messaging him saying, you know, are you going to be in tonight? Because me and him like to pair up, so we get a good partner.
yeah,
I don't outside of camp like next week. I don't care. I'll train with anyone. I'll teach the new people, but inside of fight camp, I do want that serious training. And sometimes I might not show up
yeah,
if I don't have that guarantee. But he's shown up every day. We've messaged. So have I. Like he's yeah, a big future for him.
yeah,
What's funny as well is he actually he made his debut over a year after me,
yeah.
and yeah, I think it's hilarious because I've always thought he's been better than me, and
Mhm.
he's like actually like I think he's been training like roughly the same time, but he was more into MMA from the beginning. I was more
Yeah,
into the BJJ. And
yeah,
I've always been into the MMA, but mainly the BJJ. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this fight will hold. I think he'll probably finish him.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, the amount of work he puts in, yeah, just it really motivates me and him. I think like we build each other up. Like we're
yeah,
just constantly in the gym. Like you said, like he bounces ideas off me. I give him stuff from Dean and like Danny Roberts and all that lot down in Liverpool. And
yeah,
yeah, so Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that fight. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm not very worried about his fight. I think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna win.
Nathan's an
Well,
awesome guy. I had a
yeah,
great chat with him,
definitely.
and awesome guy, man. Really, really nice guy. And again, as I said, obviously had a lot of good words to say about you, just as you have for
Yeah,
him. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good night. As the Kaizen
yeah,
always comes to represent. Obviously, you guys come and put yourselves in the cage, and you always bring people with you as well. A lot of people come
yeah,
forward you guys as well, which is brilliant to see. I think the last time when you were up in obviously Evolution of Combat 8, I remember you all getting a picture after it and just took over. It was like the whole section of the bar where you
yeah,
took the picture, and there was just,
yeah.
I don't know, it must be about maybe 30 people.
Yeah, majority of those as well was my friends and family as well, which is
Yeah,
mental.
yeah,
I couldn't believe it. But for this one, I've not really been bothered about selling tickets. Obviously, because Dan doesn't even need the help,
yeah,
because he's got a few sellouts anyway.
yeah,
But I've had yeah, I didn't really want to sell too many tickets because I actually find the worst bit is selling the tickets because it's so stressful. Guys, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you the money. I'd love to come," but then they don't end up turning up. They don't
yeah,
end up paying you, and then they cancel and they want a refund.
yeah,
Also, it's
yeah,
just every conversation you have, they like hype you up so much, and
yeah,
like you feel like you got to live up to the hype when
yeah,
really you're just having a spar. Like they make it sound like you're gonna die, and
yeah,
really you're
yeah,
just gonna you're at worst, like especially amateur. The
yeah,
worst knockouts that I've ever seen have usually like they've not even gone out. They've just
yeah,
like dropped to the floor and the ref calls it off. So
yeah.
like really, if you like actually look what it is, it's not even that bad. But they just make it sound like you're a gladiator and you've got a sword and a gun.
But you know what I do as well? I do it when I talk. I remember doing when we did Evolution of Combat 9, and I remember explaining the venue, Maryhill Community Hall, to people. And
Yeah,
the way I explained it was like a Roman Colosseum. I was like, you come in, and obviously you got the cage in the middle, and obviously the
yeah,
tiered seats around, and mate, I had people thinking they were honestly going to the fucking Colosseum. They were like, shit, where are we going, man? I thought I was just going for like an amateur MMA fight or a grappling match, but we're in against proper gladiators and fucking lions
yeah,
and tigers and shit. But
yeah. It
that's the
looks
way
a
I
good
explained
venue.
it. So that's the way I explained it.
Yeah, it looks a good venue. I'm looking forward to competing there actually.
It is.
Just because it's more of the tournament like stadium feel.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, the last fight I had was at Bolton FC Stadium, and
yeah,
I looked at the building and it was absolutely massive. I
yeah.
thought, "There's no way I'm fighting in that," but fortunately, I wasn't. I was just
Right.
fighting in the tiny back room.
Yeah,
Well, it's not
yeah,
that tiny, but it is compared to the main stage. There's
yeah,
probably about maybe 800,000 people there.
yeah,
So and I got booed, which I actually really enjoy being booed. Like I don't
yeah,
think many people do, but I've especially because I've been fighting Scottish guys in
yeah,
Scotland. I've been preparing myself to be booed. So
yeah,
like mentally, I've always been prepared that I'm going to be booed as I walk out. I've
yeah,
always prepared what I'm going to do, and I finally got to do it. So
yeah.
it like
That
that like really fueled me up. Yeah,
fucking.
yeah. It really fueled me on. So this guy's like 25, I think. So
Yeah,
should have a lot of friends to boo me, so that'll be
yeah.
good. I'll yeah, I'll enjoy that.
Yeah. Nah, listen, man, I said, Lewis, we absolutely love seeing you up. So we're definitely
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing you again on Saturday. So I'll be there on the night anyway, as
yep.
always. So we'll obviously grab a chat with obviously yourself and obviously some of the Kaizen boys as well.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
good.
so there we go, guys. We're going to have Lewis McKenzie, Kaizen Academy, up against Ross McKenzie. McKenzie versus McKenzie. So we've got an MAC and an MC up against each other. K1 Kickboxing, under 68 kilo catch weight bout. So it's going to be this Saturday, 19th of February. Evolution of Combat 11. Tickets, as I said, are all sold out. Stop messaging Dan Hope because he's got absolutely none left. He still gets messages on a daily basis about it. So make sure you get onto Evolution of Combat's Facebook page, head through to Live MMA, and the pay-per-view, £9.99. As I mentioned, fantastic night of grappling, kickboxing, and obviously MMA. So, Lewis, listen, always a pleasure talking to you, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Nice one. Hopefully, I'll be backstage as well, chatting to you after the fight as well.
Definitely, we will do. We will do.
But yeah, you'll definitely be chatting to Nathan, so I might jump in on his. Be like, oh, I'm good too.
Yeah. I'm just here to translate for Nathan. So, but no, listen, enjoy the rest of your training, buddy. Obviously, stay safe, stay away from COVID. All right.
I will. Yeah.
And I will see you on Saturday, buddy. All right.
Shall see you soon.
Thank you again. Take it easy.
Bye bye.